Right then. Humpday. Well, for some of us, maybe me, Scrunch is coming up today. Yeah. So, work has lately been like feast or famine. Monday was a 12-hour day, even over 12 hours. Yesterday was 10. Today I got 2 calls. Putting on doors on refrigerators. So, it should be done early, which is good. Cause got stuff to do here. As cold as it's been, it's been getting down to around 30 below, not 30 below zero, 30 and below. One morning I woke up as 21. The lake is starting to skim over. I'm actually, I gotta be careful that I don't wake up one morning and the boat is frozen and I can't get it out. Fortunately, this lake is dark water and that absorbs the sunlight better than clear water, and should keep it warm enough where I don't get locked in. Usually when I come home from work and I wake up in the morning now, there'll be a skim of ice on the water. I come home and the whole lake is opened up, so it should be okay. But I'm not quite ready to pull the boat out. I would like to get out and do some more muskie fishing for the one muskie that I know is in here and the really big northern that's in here. Yeah, I'd like to do that a little bit before it skims over. So, but I do have to pull the boat out, which means I gotta drive the Jeep down on the lawn here. It's not even a lawn, which is why I'm gonna turn it into an RC track. It's just a dirty floor of dirt, so with some moss on it. But I gotta drive the Jeep down here and hook a strap on the boat and literally drag it up on shore, and then that's where it's gonna stay for the winter. Yep. So that'll have to be done here pretty soon. I'm leaving the dock in. Yep. I'm gonna let that freeze in. It's not gonna hurt it. I wanted to start cutting in the RC racetrack here in the front. Start making Lakeside Raceway. But I got bigger fish to fry than play around with a racetrack, right? All the stuff that Scrunch cleaned up for the Facebook sale is still sitting out in the driveway. So I have to put that back into bay number 3, get it out of the elements. I don't think we're supposed to get any rain or snow or anything the rest of this week. They were talking that next week we were supposed to get hit with some, but now it looks like the weather pattern has shifted and the cold band that was coming right through Wisconsin has shifted south to Illinois and Indiana and shit like that, Iowa. So we'll see. Might not be a scramble yet to put snow tires on the Jeep. Might be able to hold off, drag it out as long as possible. tomorrow morning is my appointment down in Central with the work van to get snow tires put on, get an oil change and stuff. So I'll have to get up early, have wheels rolling out of here about 6, so I can get to my shop in Rhinelander at 7, punch in, and then drive all the way down to Central for the appointment at the shop at 8, sit there for 2 hours, and come back and start my route from there. I gotta get with the new scheduler girl. Her name's Allison. I gotta talk to her and make it perfectly clear that I prefer to have my route starting, going to my closest call first and working my way out to my farthest call so I can drive home in the dark. Trying to find houses in the dark when they don't have good address numbers on them is not fun. I don't like working in the dark. Yeah, so I gotta reiterate with her that I want my route done backwards. All the routes are done that way. They send you out to your farthest stop first and then have you work your way back to your shop. I want it the opposite. I want to drive back from my farthest stop, and that allows me to think about the day and the successes and the failures, and you know what I mean? And it allows me to focus more on watching for deer, because I can turn the switch off in my head for work and just focus on the driving. So I'll give her a message today and make sure she understands it. Speaking of work, I had a customer up at Eagle River. It was a problem child. GE front load washing machine that had this mysterious leak, and I could not figure out where the leak was coming from. I actually ran the machine twice with the whole front panel, the door, the metal front panel, everything off the machine. I figured out a way to cobble it to make the unit run wide open. Yep, totally exposed. So that's what I did. I ran, the last time I was there, that's why I had a 12, 13-hour day Monday. That was my last call of the day. And I ran a whole hour-long normal wash cycle on that machine with the whole front off, sitting on a stool, watching the thing run, trying to find where this leak is coming from. It didn't happen. Again, this is what happens. It doesn't happen when I'm sitting there. It's like a call I had yesterday. This lady was a bitch. Just snotty. I've been there. In 2022, I was there for a problem with her stove, gas stove, where it was puffing. It was reigniting. It was making a puffing sound, and it was scaring her because she thought there was gas leak, and she was not pleasant. You guys have been here to work in this. I says, I was only here once. I got nasty with her. Yep, I started out being nice, and then there's a time to not be nice. I said, I've only been out here once. That's how I said it to her. Check yourself. And I solved the problem at that time, because that was in 2022, and here it's 24, 25. Yeah. Anyway, on that one, I'm going to have to throw parts at it. But anyway, back to the washing machine. I literally sat on a stool for an hour and watch the machine run. Filling with water, draining water, filling with water, draining water, sloshing around, going into the spin. I watched every function of that machine. And no leak. So in that case, what I have to do is I have to look at parameters that could cause a leak when the unit is assembled and living where it normally lives, in its cubby. So this thing was pulled out. The guy has a counter over the top of it, and he has that counter wedged down tight on top of the machines. It's stuffed in there. It's ridiculous. So I'm like, what could possibly cause this leak? And there was two things. This particular model machine has a window wash feature. At the very end of the cycle, there's a little nozzle that sticks down, and it's aimed at the glass door of the washing machine on the inside. And this energizes, and it sprays water on the glass to rinse all the soap suds and the hair and all that stuff off. Cleans the glass for you. I said, I wonder if that is leaking out the door. So I took 2 zip ties, and on the rubber hose that goes to that little nozzle, I zip tied them shut. You don't need that. That's not needed. You don't even know, the customer now, you don't even know that feature exists. So we're going to eliminate it for you. Yep. The second one, and I think this is what solved the problem. The dispenser drawer, where you pull the drawer out, put your detergent in, that sits inside a plastic box inside the machine. Water hoses hook up to that and spray water down into the various compartments, whether you have fabric softener, you have soap, you have bleach, whatever. Sprays water into those various compartments, which then runs down through a big tube and dumps into the tub. Well, that box, dispenser box, when you put the machine together, the front dashboard of the machine comes up to that box. I don't know how I can do a description of it. And the 2 pieces of plastic join together, the opening of the box, and then there's a cutout on the front of the dash of the 2 of them come together like this. Okay? There's no seal. There's no gasket. There's no nothing. The box goes inside this little groove on the dash, and that's it. Well, I noticed when the machine was running that the guy's house has pretty good water pressure, and water was spraying all over inside. So I wonder if the water is actually running in the box here. It's running, and it's running like this, and it's running down inside the machine. So I took silicone, and in that groove on the dashboard that the box goes into, I put a layer of silicone in there, and I put the 2 together, which essentially glued them shut, sealed it, waterproof. Customer contacted me last night, texted me, "You must be Houdini. You solved the problem. Not one leak anywhere." He would get a puddle of water on the floor, about a cup's worth of water. So it's one of those 2 things. But I made a MacGyver modification to the unit to improve the overall design of the unit. So that's a resounding success. But anyway, today it's just hanging doors. And I think one of them is a dispenser door. I don't know what brand it is. I can't tell by looking at the model number. If it's a dispenser door, it's going to suck. By dispenser door, I mean where you put your glass for your water and your ice. So yeah, that's the work today. Kate and Rob. Oh, you may. I don't even know how to say this shit. Rob is getting an apartment. He has until Friday. On Friday, he has to actually pull the trigger and make the decision per an agreement with the future possible landlord. Rob came at me yesterday. Hey, I had an idea. I'm like, oh boy. I asked Kate this. How about when I move out, we date? The whole thing is just ludicrous. We'll go back to dating, and we'll see if that works. If we can fix things by doing that. I'm like, what? And she said, yeah, that might work if we start over. So Rob's going to be in his apartment 2 hours away from where their house is now. Kate's going to be living in the house. They're going to get together on weekends. Either he's going to come to the house. Here's where it's stupid. He's going to come to the house. He's going to have to park his truck where he lives. He can't use his truck as a taxi to get to a distant place to visit or play around or whatever. So he's going to have to park his truck out east, jump in his truck, his pickup truck, and drive 2 hours to where he currently lives to spend the weekend with Kate. Or she's going to have to get in her car and drive 2 hours from the house where they currently live to go 2 hours out east to hang out with Rob in his apartment. Why? When you both already have a house and live together in the house. What? How is that going to fix anything? Kate agrees to it. Why? Because those of us out here in the peanut gallery think Kate is prospecting for a new flavor. She denies it, but she's a liar. I strongly suspect, even though I never caught her red-handed, I strongly suspect she was doing that to me when I was with her. This allows her, during the week when Rob's on the road, to have Guy come over in the evenings after work. She gets done with work around 2. Have a guy come over, hang out, knock boots, have fun. Rob won't know. And then on the weekends, tell that new guy, no, you can't come by on the weekends. And she'll go and hang out with Rob. I strongly think she was doing that to me. When I was with her, she was living with a guy. She was a broke loser. She made $200 a month alimony from a baby daddy. And she was living in a guy's house for free. The trade-off was clean his house, do his laundry. When he came home off the road, he was a long-distance truck driver, gone Monday through Friday, home on the weekends. When he came home, she had cooked his meals, prepped some meals for him to take with him out on the road when he went back out on Monday morning. I was not allowed to come to that house on the weekends. The excuse was, well, this guy wants to be with me, wants a relationship with me, but I don't want to be with him. And it would cause some stress if another man was sitting in his living room hanging out with me. I don't want that kind of tense stress and friction because he could take it out on me abusively. Sounds plausible, right? Oh, I don't want this guy. You know, he's fat, or he's this, or he's that, or no, I don't want to be with him, but I don't want to piss him off, so I'm making him think I'm not seeing anybody. So I got to sneak you around in the background during the week when he's on the road and he can't catch me. I really think it was, no, don't come up to the house on the weekends because I'm going to be banging the guy when he comes off the road. And you can't be here to see that because I'm telling you that I'm not in a relationship with him when I actually kind of sort of am. Yep. So this opens up the door for Kate to do this very same thing to Rob. Two-time him. Kate gets lonely during the week when Rob's on the road. She's mentioned it a couple of times that him taking a long-distance truck driving job was kind of a mistake because she gets lonely. Nobody to talk to. Just sit there, get fatter, eating bonbons on the couch with 5 dogs, stinky dogs laying on top of you watching movies. Yeah. She's, history repeats itself. But Rob, stupid Rob, naive Rob, oh, this was his idea. How about we move 2 hours away from each other and we'll go back to dating each other, even though we're married and we own a house together. But we'll go back to dating each other and hang out on the weekends at each place, which is going to incur more financial expenditure for gas, wear and tear, tires on the vehicles, when we could just hang out on the weekends at the house we already have and go back to being married. I laid into him. Scrunch said he's literally the stupidest person she's ever met. I asked him, I said, why are you trying so hard to save this? You now know Kate's dark side. You know what she's capable. Oh yeah, and she backtracked on a bunch of stuff she said too. Admitted that she lied. She was telling him, playing games with him. One day she tells him she loves him. The next day she says, I never said that. I never said that. You're hearing things. She was trying to teach him a lesson. What? Punish him. I was trying to hurt you. I am so glad I didn't tie my frickin' wagon to that thing. Wow. Anyway, what was I saying? So this was Rob's harebrained idea, and Kate is thinking, yeah, that could work. That's code word for, that could work for what I've been trying to do behind your back this whole time. Start something with somebody else. Yep. I said, all right, dude. I said, if you do this, I said, you are literally the stupidest person I've ever met. I said, why are you trying to save it? That's what I was going. Why are you trying to, so desperate to save this toxic shit show? Because from this day forward, well, the last 3 months forward, it's never going to be the same. It's not going to be the yuck good times it was in the beginning. Because now, Kate has seen you get upset, which is something you didn't do before. And she doesn't like it because she's trying to control you and suppress you and make you a calm, rational person so that life is happy and easy street. You lost your cool, directed it towards her. There's the key. You do not transgress against Kate. Kate thinks she's superior to you. You're beneath her. You don't raise your voice. You don't have a conflict. You don't get angry at her. Yeah, that's not allowed in Kate's world. Kate watches too many movies. Yep. So she thinks a relationship should be a Hallmark moment all the time. It should be a Norman Rockwell painting, or it should be a Disney Channel love movie. That's Kate's twisted sense of reality. So you don't have an argument. If you have an argument and you blame Kate or you raise your voice, you're done. You don't qualify anymore. And you're going to see the switch flips in her brain, and you're going to see the dark side of Kate. The puppet master, the game playing, the trying to teach you lessons, the superiority, the attitude of superiority, dismissal, demasculation. Rob's never seen this out of her before. He's never seen this side. I said, why do you want to stay married to that now that you know it exists? Number one. Number two, she holds grudges forever. Yep. She still holds grudges against me from years ago. Why do you want to live under that? Anytime any sort of incident comes up, she's going to rehash the past, bring it up, and use it as a tool in an argument to suppress, subdue, and control you. He's going through hell right now with the up, down, yo-yo puppet string thing. I said, do you want to go? You're going to go through that for the rest of your life, off and on. There's going to be moments of happiness where you think, oh, everything's great, everything's rosy, and then all of a sudden, you're going to piss her off, and or you're going to contest her or something, and it's going to be right back to the way it is now. Is that how you want to spend the rest of your days, walking on eggshells? I love her. You idiot. The problem is it's not reciprocal. But Kate lied. Oh, I love you. I've always loved you. I've never stopped loving you. I'm just mad at you. She's a liar. Master liar. Yep. I said, all right, well, if you're going to do this, you should have a requirement. There's two things. You should have a requirement that the Life 360 tracking is active on both your phones and functioning. Tracking. So you can watch where she is during the week. She has uninstalled Life 360, reinstalled it. It works now. It reinvited everybody back into the family circle. She can see where they're all going because they have their tracking turned on. But she has not turned on the tracking on her end. So nobody can see what she's doing. Currently, right now. She's deliberately done this. Yep. Why? She's up to no good. She's doing shady shit. So I told Rob, I said, that's got to be a requirement for this to work. He goes, yeah, we'll discuss that. Number two, because there's always a workaround for that. If Kate is seeing somebody behind his back, she will have him come to the house. Yep. So therefore, number two has to be in play. He has to hide a trail camera system on the property showing the driveway and the front door of the house. If he was crafty enough, he could hide one in the house and actually take photos of the dirty deed, but minimum, he's got to have one outside showing the entry so he can see who's coming and going. Well, so without those two things in play to reestablish trust, it ain't gonna work. And the whole thing is ludicrous. Move 2 hours away, spend money, more money I said number 3, you're not going to be giving her money to help pay her mortgage. That's what she's angling at. That's why she doesn't just sever the ties. Rob's saying neither one of us want a divorce because it's going to be expensive, it's going to be nasty, and we don't want to go through that hell. You can do it like I did it. Cost me $1,500. Sit down at the kitchen table, make a list. You get this, you get this, you get this, I get that, I get that, I get that, you get this. Yep. Go get the kit at the bookstore. Fill out all the paperwork. Have a mediator. Go through all the paperwork, check everything off, make sure it's proper. Make an appointment with the judge. Shit, you can do it on a conference call, and it's over with. $1,500. Yep. So, my alarm's going to go off here pretty soon. So, that's pretty much the Kate and Rob thing, but we're all laughing at him, and even his son told him, "That's stupid, Dad. What are you thinking?" But anyway. Alright, I got a shit shower to shave, get ready for work. So, I guess we'll chime in later if something exciting happens. We'll go from there. Talk soon.